For far too long, we've had out-of-control federal spending. Congress has been appropriating and spending money that it simply...
We've been concerned about this for a long time, about how it might affect future generations. But we've ratcheted up the rate of spending so high right now that these effects are not just things that are going to be felt by future generations. We're feeling them right now. They're here. They are at our shores. They're affecting people. Every single day, it's getting more expensive to fill cupboards, to fill gas tanks, and to fill bellies. And every day, it's getting harder and more expensive to drive to go to work, to go to the doctor, or to take your kids to school. It's getting harder to buy a house. It's getting harder to do everything that the American people need. See, one of the problems we've got is that there's this disconnect between what people in Washington, D.C. want to do, spending money that they don't have, and who benefits from that, and who gets hurt. You see, people who vote for that sort of spending might get some praise, at least for the short term, while they vote to spend that. They'll probably get praise by those who want more government spending. They'll get praise by those selected interests who might benefit from the appropriation of the day. But it really goes much further than that. You see, because there are basically three categories of Americans who are affected in different ways by really reckless, obscenely extreme spending like what we've got going on right now. At the very top of the economic ladder, you've got a small handful who are sufficiently wealthy and well-connected and anticipating the way government's going to spend. They might actually get more wealthy off of spending $4 trillion at a time. And you've got another category, also a very small category, of well-to-do Americans who might be affected by it, but they won't notice it much. It won't put much of a dent in their day-to-day lifestyle and their standard of living, because they're not living paycheck to paycheck. They've got enough savings, enough resources, so that these differences in prices from one year or 1 month to the next won't make a big difference. What about everyone else? What about the vast majority of Americans who are either poor or middle class? Many of whom are living paycheck to paycheck. When those things go up, they can't buy those things. There is no other place for them to turn at that moment. That's what we do when we spend in $4 trillion increments at a time when we don't have that money. And so look, it's not the government that goes hungry at the end of the month. It's not the government that has to economize by choosing to forego traveling to a family reunion that's long overdue. It's not the government that has to worry about paying rent while also paying for braces. Taxpayers pay this. Families pay this. The American people suffer while a handful of politicians benefit. That's wrong.